we're finding a way to win. Obviously, a lot of self-inflicted issues for us. And at the end, just didn't have enough to overcome it. Play hard, that's a positive. We always play hard till the end, every game. But a lot of penalties. It's on all of us. So, questions, please.
Mario, on that last drive in regulation, fourth down, Marquise Lightfoot, unnecessary roughness, calling the timeout. Just where did things go wrong there? Did you know they were going to accept timeout, or how did that sort of play out there?
One more time, I'm sorry.
The fourth down on the final drive, Marquise Lightfoot, called for unnecessary roughness. Just
we're trying to see what they're in, so we're using a timeout, and Marquise just didn't hear the whistle. He's just playing football. So I'm not sure why that's called in such a critical situation when we're trying to stop play, right? So it's really loud. I imagine people should step in and prevent players from moving forward and finishing a play, but it didn't happen, so we were called for a personal foul.
I know you mentioned self-inflicted wounds, obviously close to 100 yards of penalties. What was not clicking in terms of there's a lot of false starts and calls on the offensive line?
Yep. Well, it's the things that we work on daily. It's the things that we've made a point of emphasis, but obviously we're not getting a result, so we're not coaching it, teaching it, and executing it well enough. The verbal stuff, we had some issues with their stems and movements. We tried to report when our cadence is being mimicked, but that didn't get any traction, and it is what it is. That happens in football, so no excuses there. Not enough discipline as it relates to just holding our water and not jumping off sides, illegal procedure.
Mario, first quarter passing game was going great. JoJo had almost 100 yards in the first quarter. Then he drops the ball early in the second quarter. It gets intercepted. They go and score on the next play. But it seemed from that point there was a lot less of an attempt to throw the ball down the field. Was that by design or?
No, the calls were still made. The coverages do change, the umbrella changes, so sometimes the underneath stuff is more what we were taking. We're moving the ball well in the first half. The first quarter, we just weren't finishing drives. Self-inflicted.
Part of the final drive of regulation, was there any thought just to try a couple quick passes to get in the field goal range?
We felt that if we could get a return to pop it out past the 35, gives us a chance. For us in our charts, anything inside the 25 under 30 seconds is more risk than actual reward. And we felt good about taking the game in overtime.
Where do you guys go from here? Obviously, 2 losses, you said every game from here now is basically playoff football. With 2 losses, where do you feel like?
Well, you just got to be a grown man and face reality. We didn't take care of business, and that's completely on us. And, if you're raised the right way and you've got the right stuff inside you, you go right back to work. You don't know how things shake out. This is certainly a wild college football season, and the focus has to be on us taking care of our business. I mean, that's, again, you always give credit to the opponent because, that's a good football team. And when you make that many mistakes, and they are flat-out mistakes, it's on everybody in the organization, but myself, every coach, every player. And when you make that many mistakes as an organization, you allow yourself to be put in a position where you can get beat. And that's what happened today in overtime.
Mario, I saw Mark Butcher got hurt late in the fourth quarter, didn't come back in. Do you know what his status might be or what's going on there?
Don't know, hard to tell. I mean, we try to be optimistic about all these injuries up until, the doctor makes a decision. But certainly we'll keep, as best we can, posted on that.
And then the 3 guys who were able to play as CJ, OJ, and Ahmad, how were they, or what happened with them?
Yeah, CJ, Ahmad, we were all optimistic about all 3 and gave it as much time as we could and just felt it got to a point where it was now obvious they were not going to be able to help us. And once they were at that point, the doctor declared them, unfit to play. That's when we made the decision not to play.
Mario, with the mistakes and the penalties in particular, that has been something that has cropped up here the last couple of games. What do you feel like maybe isn't clicking for guys when you've been stressing this over and over to get it right and maybe reduce the penalties?
Yeah. We've taken a deep dive into it. We certainly don't, we're not blind to it. We've approached it and attacked it dead on. It's part of our regimen, our culture. It's what we've always implemented on a daily basis, especially the last couple weeks. And the result was nowhere near. So everything associated with it, from the technique of it, the angle, the hat position, the cadence, the processes, all the things that can give us an opportunity to rectify that, has to be assessed once again all the way to the tee and find a way. You don't sit around, you don't throw your hands up and just say, I don't know. You just go to work, and at the end of the day, you gotta, like I told the guys, you gotta be a grown man and face it. Now's when things go wrong, that's when all the rats start to come out and try to peck at you and all that other stuff, and you gotta go tell them to go, you know what, and go to work and do it emphatically and do it with some guts and go fix the things that we have to fix so we can go get better and win.
There's a couple more.
Mario, how you know this team? You've been with them since January.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you in the resilience that you will see that now to close out the year?
Well, I've always been confident in our teams. I mean, there hasn't been, we've lost, I think, 4 games in the last 2 regular seasons. It's all been down to 1 possession. It's even when we screwed up, it's so hard to beat Miami. We just we really found a way to just not execute and not put it together. And again, that's every coach, every player. So it's not finger pointing. Won't be.
On the defensive side of things, you guys made them pretty one-dimensional. I think held them to 20-ish rushing yards, but if so, able to move the ball through the air, just what was working for them on offense?
Talking about their passing game.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some good receivers. Some of the underthrown fades, they hit. We got open for a fade down the stretch, but they picked the flag on a pass interference. So hopefully I'll get the explanation on that one. They got us on a couple of, some of our match coverages and got the guy to the flat and the wheel route with it. They exposed the seam a couple of times, and then sometimes they just made some really, really good plays. The arm angles by the quarterback down the stretch were really, really impressive. He's a really good player. That's about it.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Keontae, just I guess what's the mood in the locker room? Obviously, losing's never easy. Losing overtime is especially tough. Just what's everyone's kind of mood right now?
Practice Monday, game on Saturday.
Just when you look at this, a lot of mistakes, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Just is there anything you can pinpoint as to how that happened with that in terms of whether it's discipline or just misreads or?
It just comes down to execution at the end of the day. Feel like we didn't execute on both sides of the ball well enough to get the job done. So at the end of the day, it goes back to everybody got to look at themselves, and execute in those moments when it's loud, when it's rough, when it's tough. Just got to execute.
And can you put your finger on just why some of the execution was maybe lacking today?
No, I wouldn't say it was just, we can't really put a pinpoint on anything. At the end of the day, we win together, we lose together. So at the end of the day, it's on everybody as a whole to get the job done.
Talk a little bit about the stress that their offense puts on the secondary. And there were a lot of plays out there today where you guys were kind of struggling to make the checks and getting the right coverages and account for everybody that's going out.
Yeah, I would just say, mobile quarterbacks, we got to do a good job of containing them, keeping them in the pocket, keeping them still. Quarterbacks start moving around, that's when, chaotic things happen.
How about the confusion part? What were they doing to create confusion at times?
Just different things, got to give credit where credit is due at the end of the day. They got the job done and we didn't.
Anything else for Keontae?
Keontae, just guys have been together since January. In terms of just the resilience, the mindset moving forward, what are you hoping to see out of your guys when you do go back to practice?
Just guys coming together at the end of the day. We got football games left in the season. At the end of the day, just got to continue to get the job done as the season goes on and continues to go on. Each week we got to take it week by week and get the job done.
Great. Thanks, Keontae.
Thank you.
No problem.
Tony? Go ahead, Jordan.
Malachi just closed over there, obviously losing, especially.
I'm sorry.
That's tough.
Not to interrupt. You can repeat it, please.
Yeah, just what was the mood in the room post game? Obviously, losing in any fashion is tough. But obviously, losing in overtime's got to be even tougher.
The energy was great in the locker room. I just think that we didn't go out there and execute. From our standpoint, they had a great plan and they executed their plan better than we did.
Go ahead, Adam.
Just what were they doing that maybe they kind of made things a little more difficult on offense? They kept you guys in check for most of the drives.
They didn't do nothing important. Well, they didn't of course they did what they were supposed to do, but they didn't really do nothing to affect us. We just got to go back to the drawing board.
Okay, you guys had a lot of success early in the game, throwing the ball down the field. JoJo had almost 100 yards at the end of the first quarter. And then the next 3 quarters, not as much success. Did they adjust? Is there anything to change?
We just got to go back to the drawing board and execute our plays.
Malachi, a lot of penalties, especially on the offensive side. Just how tough is it when you have drive that you're trying to sustain and then you guys have some setbacks, you guys have to try to overcome your own self-inflicted mistakes?
That was just little detail stuff. We got, like I said before, we got to just go back to the drawing board and start executing all the little things and play the standard football here.
On the last play, you guys had an offense in overtime. Just what did you see the play? I think you were running a whip route. Just what happened on that play?
The play was self-explanatory. I don't know what you want me to say about it.
Do one more question.
Malcolm,
What was it like seeing JoJo out there today? And obviously had a great first half.
It was great to see JoJo go out there and play the standard football, but we just got to execute as a team now.
Great. Thanks, Mal.
Thank you.
Start with you.
Carson, just how tough is it to lose a game that way when it looked like you guys are able to do what you want to for the most part, but a lot of self-inflicted mistakes ultimately costing you?
It's tough. I don't know. I mean, obviously, to lose a game like that and in that fashion, it's hard. You know, we work really hard, and I mean, this team comes and works every single day, and we're so connected, and it's a brotherhood, and it's really tough to lose like that on the road.
Mario was saying a lot of the penalties might have been at least partially caused by SMU maybe mimicking cadences, things like that. Just what did you see on some of those false starts and stuff?
I don't know. We just have to be more disciplined, and that's it. We just have to play better, and again, just be disciplined. And it's not their fault. It's our fault, and it takes all 11 on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. So again, just have to be better, and it's really hard to lose in that fashion.
Carson, you guys came out really hot with the passing game early in the first quarter. I know you hit JoJo multiple times. He had almost 100 yards. And, then the drop pass interception happened early in the second quarter, and that seemed to change a lot. Did they do anything differently to take away your downfield plays?
No, I mean, they ran the same thing the whole time. I just execute the play that's called, and if I'm given the opportunity to, if I see something and change something, then I will. But again, I just execute the play that's called, and we weren't able to execute, at a high level at the end to be able to close it out.
Do 2 more questions.
Carson, can you just take us through the throw in overtime and kind of what you saw as it was progressing through?
Yeah, I mean, he made a good play. They had a good coverage on for our play. Everyone's inside leverage man, corners are outside, trying to press everything out. We have all in-breaking routes, which, again, they got us, and he made a great play on the ball, so props to him.
Carson, you guys, 2 losses, your backs are now against the wall with the goals that you guys ultimately wanted to accomplish. Just what do you want to see from the team as you guys get ready, as you guys try to flip the switch and when you get back to practice on Monday?
Just stay together. We can't separate. We have to, do what we've said that we are the entire year, right? And that's having connection, that's playing as a team, that's staying in unity regardless of what happens. So that's all we can do. We learn from the mistakes of what happened this game, and then just continue forward and finish each week, as hard as we can.
Great. Thank you, Carson.